everyone, Miss Carrie here from Miss Carrie's Creations. Today I have joined the Easter Art to Card giveaway hop, and I will be using the Print-Then-Cut feature on my Cricut to create 2 spring cards. Each of the designers in this hop has been given a printable coloring page from Crayola.com and will be using it to create a unique Easter themed card. This is also a giveaway hop, and I will be explaining how the giveaway works later on in the video. So the 2 cards I'm making today are very different, but I wanted to show you 2 ways that you could use that coloring sheet. I'm going to show you how to use the Print-Then-Cut feature to create 2 card fronts. If you wish to skip ahead and view the assembly portion of this video, I have placed some timestamps in the description below. So the first thing I need to do is grab this image off of the Crayola website. Now there's 2 ways to do that. You can either print it as a PDF and then change that PDF into a PNG, or you can just right-click, save the image onto your device, and then use that image in Cricut Design Space. So here I am in Cricut Design Space. I have opened up a brand new canvas, and I'm going to go over to the right side and click on Upload. I'm going to browse my folders and find the file I just downloaded, and I'm going to go ahead and bring that in to Cricut Design Space. Now you can see here that it does come in as a coloring page. We're going to go ahead and clean that up, so I'm going to hit Complex, and I'm going to hit Continue. Now I need to get rid of all of the items on here that I don't want, so I'm going to go down here where it says Manual. I'm going to click on Select, and I'm going to click on the white background to remove it. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in here just a little bit so that I can see all of the items down here, and you can see that there's the little Crayola bits and some different parts there. I'm just going to go ahead and crop the image so that I can remove those parts. Alright, so now I have an image ready to print and cut. I'm going to go ahead and hit Apply, and I want to save this as a Print-Then-Cut image, so I'm going to click on that design, and then I'm going to go ahead and title this image and add some tags. I'm going to go ahead and hit Upload, and then I can grab that image and bring it into Cricut Design Space. Now it does come in at about 9 inches by 12.5 inches, and I need to make it smaller so that it fits my A2 size card. So one of these images is going to be printed out and cut from cardstock so that I can color it with some alcohol markers. The other one is going to be cut from some clear sticker paper, and we're going to be building a shaker card. So I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this image so that I have one for my sticker sheet and one for my cardstock. Before I cut this image from my white cardstock, I want to create a little outline image as the background for this piece on my card, and I'm going to do that by using the offset tool. So to do that, I'm going to click on the image. I'm going to go up here to Offset, and I'm just going to drag the radio dial until I get the look of the shadow layer that I like. And you can see here there's a nice little blue line around it to give you a visual of what your offset's going to look like. Once you have chosen how large you want your offset to be, you can go ahead and hit Apply. Now if we take a look over here in the Layers panel, because the original image was a Print-Then-Cut, our offset layer is also a Print-Then-Cut, and we just want this to be a simple cut. So I'm going to click on that layer over here in the Layers panel. I'm going to go up here to Operation, and I'm going to change it to a basic cut. So now we're going to go ahead and click Make It, and we're going to cut out both of these images. Now all I need to do is print this design twice, once on my cardstock and once on my printer paper. So I'm going to go ahead and hit Continue. I'm going to choose Send to Printer. I'm going to go ahead and tell it that I want 2 copies. It's always best to use the System dialog box so that you can get the best printing options possible, and then you're going to hit Print. Once your image has printed, then you are going to choose the base material. One will be the cardstock, one will be the sticker paper, and you're going to cut both of those images out, and then you're going to go ahead and click on that other layer and cut it out of cardstock or paper. All right, I'm going to go off camera and cut those designs out, and then I'm going to show you how I'm going to build my 2 cards. I've gone ahead and cut out all of the items that we're going to need for each of these cards. Here is the printable Crayola.com coloring sheet on a piece of white cardstock. You can see how well the Cricut cut around the images and the frame. I've also cut a back layer for this cut using that offset tool, and that is going to layer right behind the image. For the background, I have a piece of pink and blue polka dot paper. This sweet pattern is going to be perfect for an Eastery spring card. The second card we are going to make is a shaker card. I'm going to build a spring scene on the front of this card with some stickers and die cuts. The coloring sheet was printed onto some clear sticker paper to create the background for this card and cut out with the Cricut machine. I'm going to place this onto some polka dot acetate, and you'll be able to see all of the shaker elements floating behind the image. Alright, I'm going to show you how to shade this first image with Spectrum Noir TriBlend markers. Then I'll show you how to build the shaker card. I have put timestamps in the description below, so if you wish to skip the coloring portion of this video, you can go ahead and skip to the assembly. Alright, let's get started with the first card. I have zoomed in a little bit closer so that it is easier for you to see how I shade an image with these alcohol markers. Throughout this coloring process, I am going to speed up the video so that you don't have to watch the process in real time. I have started with the largest image, which is the muck boots or wellies or whatever you call them. Everyone I have met has a different name for these types of rubber boots. What do you call them at your house? I would really love to know. Go ahead and put that name down in the comments. Each of these TriBlend markers has a lighter shade, a medium shade, and a darker shade of the color family. For people like me who are novices at using and choosing alcohol markers for shading, these TriBlends make it really simple. So I have gone ahead and added the lighter color of antique blue, and now I'm going to start adding some shading with the darker color and medium hue. When you're adding shading, you want to think about where the light is possibly shining onto the images. If the sun or light is in the upper left, your shadows will be in the lower right. Not only am I adding the shading to the right sides of the boots, I'm also adding some extra shading under the flowers and leaves that are hanging over the top of the boots. These would naturally cast a shadow, so I want to recreate that with the darker antique blue colors. On these boots, I'm leaving the dots white in the shaded areas. I am going to add some gray to those dots so they look like they have a shadow. I have also added some ice gray to the other dots to give them a little bit of shading and color. And I'm going to use the ice gray to color in the soles of the boots and add some more shadows. On the heels of the boots, I'm going to create a darker shadow with the ice gray shades and blend it in with the ice gray blends that I used to create some depth and color. Now that I have finished adding the shading, I'm going to bring back the lightest color of antique blue and blend the colors together. Now that these boots are finished, I'm going to add color to a few of the flowers. I'm not going to show you the process of coloring every flower, but I will share a few tips for adding some shading to these small images. These flowers are rather small, so I'm not going to add too many layers of color, but I still want to create the illusion of depth, so I will add some darker colors in the lighter colors and mix a few hues on the petals. On this first flower, I used a pale pink blend to color all the petals. To create a bit of dimension, I'm going to use the pale pink shades on the inner petals. I'm just barely brushing the marker tip in the places to create a little bit of shading. After After adding the darker colors, I'm going to bring back the lighter pink and blend everything together. Now that mum in the background has a lot of petals, and if we don't use a few different colors, it's going to look really flat and out of place. I'm going to start with a lighter shade of yellow and color all of the petals on the flowers. Then I'm going to bring in some darker shades and just randomly brush it onto the flower. Alright, so now I'm sure you are wondering about that giveaway I spoke about in the beginning of the video. While I continue to color some of these flowers, I'm going to tell you all about it. The giveaway is for that sweet and sassy cute critters stamp set that you see there in the corner. How adorable is that? This giveaway is for US residents only. A random winner will be chosen and notified that they have won. Alright, let's finish up the coloring of this image. I know that I have really sped this video up and have skipped a few parts of the coloring process. If I had kept this at real time and showed every detail, you would have been here for over an hour. If you are interested in learning some more about TriBlend marker techniques, I do have some more detailed videos here on my channel. I put a few of those links in the upper right corner and in the description below for you to save to watch later. So I've gone ahead and finished shading the leaves and added a bit of grass underneath the soles of the boots. The last element I want to add color to are the gloves and the watering can. I chose neutral colors for these because I didn't want to take away focus from those beautiful flowers. I also used some brown markers to color the wooden handle on the watering can. Having the brown hues on either side of the boots and flowers creates a nice frame for this image. To finish off the design, I added some antique blue around the edges, and now we're going to quickly assemble this card so we can move on to the shaker card. I'm going to keep the elements on this card to a minimum because that design is simply stunning and I don't want to take away from the beautiful colors. After I layered the two front panels together, I mounted them onto that pink background with some foam tape. Around the base of the card, I wrapped a little bit of white twine and created a decorative knot with some frayed ends. This is going to be placed down onto a white card base, and I'm going to add a pre-printed sticker sentiment over the flowers. Now I know that this one took a little bit of time to create because of the coloring, but I really want you to continue to watch so that I can show you another way that you can use that coloring page image. This next card is a really quick one to make. I'm going to start by adding a little speckled egg blue shading to the base of the card. This is going to be the panel behind my shaker window, and I want it to look kind of like the sky. Now, if you wanted to, you could use a cloud stencil, but I'm going to keep this really simple, so I'm just going to add a little bit of ink with a blending tool. Now we can build the shaker portion of the card. I'm going to start by attaching a piece of acetate to a stitched frame to create our window. This acetate has a protective film, so I'm going to remove that first, and then I'll use some score tape to attach the frame to the acetate. Now I'm going to add the sticker onto the front of the acetate. Most printable clear sticker sheets have a shiny side and a dull side. The dull side is the backing sheet, and it's easy to remove with an eraser. I'm going to fold the backing sheet part way so that I can make this easier for me to transfer it to the acetate. I'm going to line up the sticker with the top of the frame, then peel back the backing to stick it in place. Now this is a little bit shorter than I need because I'm going to be creating a little spring scene at the bottom of this card, and I wanted as much of the image as possible to show in that shaker window. Alright, now I'm going to build a little dam on the back of that frame for my shaker elements with some foam tape. This is a thinner foam tape, and it's going to make it easier to mail this card. But you can use any thickness of foam tape that you like, or you can use a shaker card pouch. As I'm building this foam tape frame, I'm making sure that there are no gaps in the tape. The gaps could cause the shaker pieces to fall out, and we don't want that happening. So now that the foam frame is built, I'm going to add all my shaker bits to the card base. I used an anti-static pouch on the cardstock to lessen the static and keep those elements from sticking to the acetate. Then I'm going to go ahead and pour the mix of sequins and clay bits and beads into a little pile in the center of the card. Now I'm going to place that frame over the top, and we've created a little shaker. How cute is that? I want to build a little scene at the base of my card with some bright teal colored grass and a white picket fence. Both of these were cut using some dies that I own. I am going to layer another row of grass in front of the picket fence and weave it within the pickets. And then I'm going to add this cute little mailbox sticker with flowers and a little cute sentiment next to the mailbox. Now, I know that this isn't an Easter sentiment, but this is going to be going into an Easter gift for my niece, so I chose a sentiment that would match her personality. This second card was a really simple design using that Crayola coloring sheet, and I love how it created a nice little backdrop for our spring scene. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at the two cards we created today. So these are two totally different types of cards. Both of these designs use that fun Crayola.com coloring sheet, which was uploaded into Cricut Design Space and cut using the Print-Then-Cut feature. The first card took a little bit more time to color with those TriBlend markers, but the end result is worth it. This card has a really simple background with some twine for texture and that little wood element. The shaker card was really fun to make, and no coloring was involved. For those of you who are not a fan of shading images, this is the perfect project for you. Again, I used the Print-Then-Cut to create a clear sticker with that Crayola.com image. I placed it onto the acetate and built a shaker card with a sweet little spring garden. Both cards are simple designs that you can make for the upcoming spring holidays. I'm going to show you a few up-close photos of these cards so that you can see them in a little bit more detail. Remember, this hop is featuring 10 different Crayola.com coloring sheets, which have been turned into card designs. To see each of the projects and be inspired, you can click on the channel links in my description below. Don't forget to register for that fun, sweet, and sassy Stamps Cute Critters stamp set giveaway. That set is going to be a fun one to create Easter cards with this year. If you have any questions about this project, the supplies I used, or how to use the Print-Then-Cut on your Cricut, feel free to post those in the comments below. If you enjoyed today's project, go ahead and click the thumbs up button and subscribe to my channel. I hope that you have a wonderful week, and I can't wait to see what you create.